Hello, everybody. Nice to see you
Hello.
to our M81 webinar. Welcome and thanks to be there. I'm Bruno, the Sales and Marketing Manager and the Partner Manager, which is the most important. I don't want to take 5 minutes on the 30 minutes on which we commit to do this webinar, so I will give the hand to Pascal immediately. Just to know that we will stay some 10 minutes or 15 minutes more at the end of the 30 minutes of the webinar. So if you have questions or if you want to discuss with us, you can stay some minutes more. And of course, we will activate your microphone. Pascal, up to you.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to this presentation. We are going to talk about control for I today. Before to start, sorry, I remove this. Before to start, just one word about our company. So, well, I'm Pascal Rigbush. Sorry, I'm the CTO of M81 and also the founder of the company. So our company, M81 is an ISV, an independent software vendor. We build software systems for IBM and only this. And we have three softwares: Control for I, which is the goal of this presentation, and Flash for I that we just explained 1 hour ago, and that is about to make a backup, well, to make instant copy of your production and make a backup, even a Save 21 every day without to stop or without any effect on the production. And Recover for I that we will explain in 1 hour for 30 minutes or so. Well, if you have only one partition with no HA solution, and in case of crash, if you don't want to lose the data from the day, then Recover for I is a good option for you. The company has been existing for 9 years now. We are working with in 21 countries over the world, mostly in Europe, but also in Uruguay, Argentina, and USA. And there are 38 partners that help us to deliver and promote our products. And more than 250 customers now, and probably more than 1,000 partitions right now, where our products are installed. Okay, before to go into Control for I, some information, some technical information for today, for the future. Sorry. We will be in the Power 3 event in Germany, in Dortmund. So if you are German speaking and you want to see us in person, please enroll and come in November to this event. There's a virtual event in French, which name is I Believe, and it's in the beginning of December. The main subject will be the database, the IBM database, and we also will have a presentation in this event. And about this presentation, this PowerPoint, we will have the PDF of this presentation. Bruno will put it during the presentation in the handouts. So if you have on the right of your screen, you have the screen from the window from the webinar, and it will be there in a few minutes. So you will have it. And there's a video, it's also recorded, and you will have a message to allow you to download the video after it. Okay, Control for I. A lot of companies already have a monitoring tool, and they monitor anything in their company: Windows Server, Linux, Unix servers, everything that has an IP address. If they have a coffee machine with an IP address, they can monitor the coffee machine. That is very important in an IT infrastructure. And those tools are for some of them, they are free and they can use them, and they are very easy to use. Those tools, the most known product is Nagios. Nagios is something like the father of many of other products. It's free. You have to pay for the maintenance if you want, but you can have it for free. And it's working on Linux, but there are also products working on Windows if you prefer Windows, like PRTG, for example. And these are only examples because there are many other tools like Pandora, Centrio, Schinken, Isinga, etc., CheckMK. So there are many of them, and all of them are based on the same principle. They provide the infrastructure for the monitoring, the planning, etc., and create tickets or send emails. And you have plugins, and one plugin is one control. So it's very easy to start with it. So why is IBMI excluded from this? Because most of the time you have all this monitoring, but nothing for the IBMI. Why? Maybe because some people still see the IBMI like this. A green screen, well, in fact, it's not green here, but a green screen and an old style screen. Unfortunately, many people see it like this. While it's a modern product, and many people also in some companies use an IBMI without to know it because they just see that kind of display. This is Navigator for I, and but many products are written in Java with a full Windows interface, well, modern interface. So sometimes they use IBMI without to know it. It's a real good system with planned new releases and version for the next 10 years at least. So it continues to move and to be very modern. So there's probably another reason, or there are other reasons. The first one is that this Sept system, unfortunately for the monitoring, is very stable. So many people say, I don't need to check the IBMI. It's stable, it works. So why should I check? Okay, that's a good answer also. Also, there are IBMI administrators that are very competent. They are very available, always there. They love their system, and they make sure all the time that it works and that it's up and that everything is okay. And that's why they do the monitoring by themselves. Also, it's possible. And even sometimes in some companies, there's no administrator at all because it works. It's stable. So why to have someone to monitor it or to manage it? Just change the password from people that forgot the password and manage the backups, and that's all. Okay. But sometimes there's a surprise. Sometimes there's something that doesn't work, or there's a disaster, and that's a big problem. So I have seen companies where they had no backup for 2 months, and that's a shame. Where the high availability is out of synchronization, and so it's not replicated and not protected anymore. So many cases. So it's a shame to have such a big infrastructure for the monitoring. It's not all the time as big as this, but most of companies have, and not to take advantage of it to monitor the IBMI. Are there other reasons? These are good reasons that I gave. It's not a good result, but these are good reasons. But there are bad reasons also. The monitoring team is often from the open world. They know Windows, Linux, Unix, or Coffee Machine also. And the IBMI some or most IBMI administrators don't speak the same language. We speak commands with 10 characters NF4, and they speak words with -A, -W, etc. And it's not exactly the same. So they don't talk each other. The plugins that are delivered for Nagios and for all those tools are in Linux type or Windows type language. And and the logic is not the same. So it's not easy for an IBM admin, should I say for an old IBM admin, to look at this and use it. And if you want to check, if you want to use these plugins, you have to connect to a Linux or Windows server. You have to use the plugin, and the plugin look like this sometimes. These are examples for the IBM plugins that are delivered for free. And the syntax is not very good for us, IBM admin. So for example, if you want to check the messages, it's not very easy to understand. So we propose another solution. This other solution is to regroup, to make the both worlds together. The first world is the world of the monitoring tools. So all those monitoring tools, the list is not complete, is not exhaustive. There are many other. And bring Control4i, and Control4i brings a plugin and IBMI commands and IBMI programs that are written in IBMI style, and where you can monitor many things: applications, backups, jobs, high availability, Mimics, FreeKDD, etc. Many things in your systems. It's this product brings IBMI commands developed on the IBMI side. So for an IBMI administrator, it's natural. You just type the command F4, you have all the parameters, and you can test the command as many times as you like. And it's very easy to integrate it to Nagios, just a copy and paste, and that's all. I will show you later. It's very simple to set up in Nagios, in PRGG, in every monitoring tool. And it's also possible to adapt. Well, the product delivers something like 170 or 180 types of control. So there are also already a lot, but it's also possible to integrate your own programs. If you have one program that says yes, no, it works, doesn't work, 0, 1, then it's possible in something like half an hour to create a new probe and a new control in Control4i, your own control. So very easy. And the documentation gives everything to do that. So it's possible to do it. This is a theoretical part of the demonstration. I will go to a demo now, a real demo. And for this real demo, I need an access to this. Okay, this is an example with Centreon. Centreon is French version of Nagios. It's exactly the same. It works on Linux, and it's exactly the same as Nagios. So with this, we have on the home page we have all the hosts. So there are just a few. Sometimes there are 200 or 1,000 hosts that are monitored. And in our host, you can see that they are all up, and that's a ping, in fact, that is done. And we have one check or one demo partition, which name is prod, and it's here. So this demo partition is up. I will show you what kind of things we can monitor. I will go to the status of the services. So the goal of this product is to say what is not okay, what is not running correctly. So the first few shows everything that is critical. And here we have the grid of M3 that is critical and the library side that is critical. And you have the messages here. It's critical because there's one host with that uses more than 80% of the CPU that is allowed. And we have the name of the host. And for the library, it's critical because there are 2 libraries that use more space than planned, and that's Control4i and QGPA. So you have those. The monitoring tool automatically sent an email to say there's this problem. And if you have a ticketing product, then it's possible to create automatically the ticket. So there are many things into this monitoring tool. If you don't know them, ask a demo or ask us and we can show you. But we don't install and we don't promote those products, but you can get them in many places. So most of them are very well done. What I want to do is to see all the checks. So if I select all the status, I have also the checks that are okay. And for example, there's a check for QBatch, and this check for QBatch tells me that QBatch subsystem is active. So that's nice. That's exactly what I need. And it's been active for 8 hours and 12 minutes, and this one for 5 days for the agent, etc. So everything is there. Now, how do I add a new check? First, to add a new check, to add a new control, I have to show you the IBMI side of the product. The IBMI side of the product is here. There's one menu, and the menu is only there to remind you what you can do. The main thing is that the product delivers IBMI commands. And those IBMI commands, there's one, for example, to check the subsystem QBatch. If one subsystem is active, the command is CT check subsystem. All our commands begin with CT for control, and the check command begin with CT check. And after that, we have 5 characters to say what we want to check. So this is the command to check a subsystem. If I press F4, I have the usual checks, the usual information. And the name of the subsystem I want to check is QBatch. Okay, I want to check that the subsystem is active. I could check that it's stopped. Yeah, that QNight it's stopped during the day, for example. Okay, I press enter. There are additional parameters. So for this subsystem, I can also check the name of that some jobs that have to be active all the time are there. So there are a lot of parameters that makes with one check you can check, with one command you can check many things. In our case, I just want to check that the subsystem is active. I press enter. Okay, it says that's okay. And you can see this message. Remember, we already have seen this message here. The QBatch subsystem is in run state, so it's active. And that's the message that I have here. There's no relationship, okay? Here I type the command, but that's another, that's not this command that gives the result. That's the command that is parameter here. So I will create a new entry here. So when I want to prepare, I'm here. I can type the command and change some parameters or change some things. If I want to check that the subsystem is stopped, now it says that's critical, that there's a problem. The system is not active, is active while it should be inactive. So that's the check. Okay, so I can do many times. I can check many times and try it. That's only a check. It's not, there's no issue. When I'm confident, when it's okay, I have the right command. I just have to copy this, Control C, and come into my monitoring tool. And there I go to configuration, services, and create a new, and see the list of configuration. And I will add a new service. I will call it QBatch webinar. And I want to check on one system, which is prod. I will use a template because I don't want to give all the information for the notification, the relation, the database, etc. So I will use one template, which is generic service custom. This is the base of this product, okay? Now I will make the relationship with Control4i. Control4i, I have to give the command. The command is the name of the Linux program that will be used. So the plugin. Our plugin is, there's only one plugin, that's check Control4i. All the rest are tests for our internal use. So there's one plugin, and this plugin has one parameter, which is an IBMI command. And then I just have to press Control V to put the command that I had in the 5250 screen. And that's all. All the rest is the monitoring tool parameters. So the check period, do I check all 24 hours a day or only during the non-working hours, so I can create plannings. I can set up the frequency. I can set up many things, who will receive a notification, etc. So for me, that's enough. I want to control all the time, and there's the default notification. Okay, my new definition is somewhere here on the second page. Well, my new definition is somewhere. I have to. It's well, somewhere. Here. So this is the new definition. I have some technical option to do here in the product to say this new information has to be put it into the production. So I select my monitoring tool, I export the configuration, and I say move the export file and restart the monitoring engine. And this is just a technical operation. It's done very fast. And now I can come back to the monitoring status. I want to check to see everything, and I look for my Q-Batch webinar. You can see that it's pending. It has not been active right now. I don't want to check. If I wait a few minutes, a few seconds, it will be active. But now I want to force an immediate check. Okay. And if I refresh, okay. Now my check is okay. It's been okay for 5 seconds, and the text is the subsystem is active. So it works. What did I do? I just, on the IBM, I selected the command that I want to use to know exactly what I want to check. And when I have the command, I just copy it and paste it into the monitoring tool. If I have an access and if I can do it, if I know how to do it, I can do it by myself. If I don't, because that's a separate team, I just have to prepare the list in an Excel, for example. And in the Excel file, I prepare the list of the command, give a name, give the frequency, give the name of who will receive the email or how to create the ticket. So that's convention into the enterprise. And I send this file to the monitoring team. And that's all. So what happens if I stop the subsystem? Q-Batch is there, it's active. If I stop the subsystem, okay, still there, and no more Q-Batch. Now, the default here is 5 minutes. I don't want to wait 5 minutes. So I were again forced to have an immediate check. And I refresh. Now it tells me that it's critical. It's been critical for 3 seconds. And now the message is it's the subsystem is not active. So I have an alert and I will receive an email after 3 times. So here it checks 1 time, it checks another time after 1 minute and another time after 1 minute and after 2 minutes. So I have an email or a new ticket. And all these are parameters, so I can change everything. Okay, so you have seen the relationship between Nagios, in our case, Centrion, and the IBM. I told you about PRTG. It's on Windows, and we also have a PRTG installed here. And you can see that there are, for the same partition, there are a lot of checks. And if I look at this partition, the way it works is totally different from Nagios. So the display, the pictures are different. So you have to choose the one you prefer. That's no problem. But Control4i works the same with both products, with all those products. And here I have the available cartridge, some subsystem, and the errors are in red, etc. Okay. Now, how do I know what are the control that I can do? I will restart Q-Batch here because otherwise I will forget it. to batch. Okay. How do I know the control that I can use? Well, in the menu, I have all the options, and all these are in a menu. There's no interest to have them in the menu because they will not be used. They will not be running in a 5250 session. They will be running in Nagios, in PRTG, in Centreo, in whatever you want. The only interest to have them here is to have the list of the commands without to open the documentation. So if I had an education for the beginning and I know how to find the commands, it's very easy and no need to open the documentation. But there's a documentation that is something like 250 pages. So there are a lot of information in the documentation. If I look at the commands related to the jobs, the commands are there. And you can find the one I used here. So I can use it and see the parameters. And there are many other commands. And for example, the one that everyone wants to have is this one. That's, are there jobs in message wait status? Are there messages in QC software that are waiting for an answer? And this command will give you the information. So with this, you can see that there are a lot of parameters. I can select one or 15 subsystems. I can say all the subsystems except a list of 15 other ones. I can select jobs, omit jobs, etc. So if I check on my system, there's no job. If there would have one job in message wait status, I would have a message here, and there would have the name of the job that is in the wrong status. It's possible to check the duration of a job, check that any job with some name takes no more than 1 minute or no more than 10 minutes, for example. So you can check many things. You can check some system status or some system information, the total number of jobs in the system, the memory, the percentage of, these are information from the work system status command. If I look at the rest, you can check the backups. If you use BRMS, you can check if your backups are correct. If you can check if there are available cartridges for the backup for tonight. You just have to enter some information and you know if there are backups, if there are tapes available. If you don't have BRMS, it's possible also to check the saves. So you say, okay, in my night backup, there's one command save seg data, there's one save CFG, one save library, one save DLO, and for example, two save command for the IFS. And my backup starts today. I check at 7 a.m. for example, and my backup started yesterday at 23, and it finished today at before 2 a.m. In our case, and if I press enter, it checks, and in my case, it says that there was no backup because they are done with BRMS, one control group between today 2 a.m. and today 5 a.m. And normally it should say yes, for BRMS, one BRMS backup is okay on this tape, and there's no error. So I have all the information here. If you have high availability products, you have the commands for quick EDD, Mimix, Itera. If you can check some things in the IFS, you can check certificates, you can make a ping, you can check web services. And there are miscellaneous commands with the work problem. You can check the users, you can check the uptime, check some journals, objects, etc. There are many, many commands. And if you use M3, there are a lot of commands to check M3. And if you use MQ series, there are also 2 commands to check MQ series availability. So many things that you can check here. And there are also there's also a specific module where you can check all the messages. So if you want to check the messages from QC software, you can create a scenario. And in this scenario, check BRMS messages or messages from a QC software or from another message queue. or the display log command, that's the system log, and all the time you define the messages you want to have. If you omit them, if you have a critical alert or warning, you can use generic names, etc. And there are a lot of options to say if there's a text, if it comes from a job, from a profile. So many things that you can monitor. It's a very full product. Okay, so this is about the demonstration. Now come back to the PowerPoint. These are some screenshots that you will have, and what kind of answer you can have. I prefer to do it in a live demo. So this is everything that we have seen. Okay, and the menu and the messages. Okay, so as a shortcut, as a summary, Control for I includes IBM partitions in your monitoring process. So you probably have in your company already something that monitors many things. Just take care of it, and it's possible to put the IBM inside. It's compatible with most of the standard monitoring tools, and you have IBM commands, so it's very easy for you to learn them and to test them. You don't have to develop, you don't have to write any program. It's not necessary. You just have to use the existing probes that we deliver. But if you want, it's also possible to create your own tools, your own probes. And the documentation says exactly how to do this, and it's very easy. And with this, you can monitor system, and you can monitor many things in the system, and also in applications. In your applications, that's something that you don't have anywhere else. And it's very easy and very fast to install and to use. Our customers are happy to work with this product, and they say it. ArcelorMittal is a French customer that uses Control for I and Flash for I. They have both. And MMC in UK also, they have both products. Okay, that's the end of this presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Bruno will open the microphone, and you will be able to ask any question or put them in the chat. If you don't want to speak, you can write them. And you can contact us. You have all the information to send us an email or phone for technical questions. That's me. For sales questions in French or English, that's Bruno. And if you prefer in German, you can call Karl-Heinz, and Andreo if you speak Spanish.
Thank you. Normally, I open your microphone, so you still have to unmute your microphone. So don't hesitate. So there is one question, which is it possible to write my own SQL checks?
Yes, sure. And we also provide an example. I think my screen is still visible. We provide an example. We provide a CT example file, which is in the products library. And there's an example of a command, an example of a check in CL, and an example in this SQL RPG. So you can create your own SQL check based on these examples. Very easy.
And integrate in the standard Control for I process.
And integrate in your version of the control. Mm-hmm. If you want to have it in the standard, you can ask us if you want to have a new check. And if we consider that it can be useful for many customers, then most of the time we integrate it into the standard. So you can have it quickly with your development. And after that, you can have it in standard, so you don't have to maintain it. Many people do that. Many of our customers do that.
And remember, my skirt, it's a skirt for a t-shirt for the Rugby World Cup. So Allez France. I hope we will go very far, sorry. And don't hesitate to, so you can download the presentation Pascal uses in the GoToWebinar application in the Handout tab, but we will send you also an email in 2 or 3 hours with a link to download it and with a link to review the recorded video.
There are 2 other questions, but what should be the output to interpret the output 1, 0, 1, or 2, like in Nagios, other possibility, parse, etc. In fact, this is done automatically by our plugin. The plugin is made to receive the data from the production system, from the IBM I partition, and there's a protocol to say that's okay, warning or critical. So you don't have to worry about this. The rules are in the examples, so it's done automatically for by our commands, and for your specific probes, everything is in the example and in the documentation, and it's very easy, so you don't have to worry about this. And
you can contact the support to help you.
Yes, also. Is there a check for bus4i? Currently, no. We plan to add one, and in fact, we already had the discussion with TSP. So we have most of the information for this, and in fact, really, as no customer did really ask us for the probe, we made all the other one and all the other evolution that we wanted. But if you want to use Control4i or already use Control4i and want to have this bus4i check, we will do it.
And the last question, is there a possibility to check audit journal entries?
Well, this is a difficult question. The answer is yes, but yes, it's possible to monitor anything. But most of the time in the audit journal, the goal is more to analyze things and have something like a report. So for this, Control4i is not done for this. There are some products that do it and do it very well. But if there's one thing that you want to monitor and you want to check if it's in the journal, then yes, it's possible to do that. There's no standard check to do that right now. But if you have a specific thing, a specific ID, just tell us, send us an email, call us, and we can talk about this. And probably it's possible to do that. Yes. Okay. No more question? Well, feel free to send us an email or contact us by the way you prefer, and ask for a better demo, because this was a very short one.
And maybe we will see some of you in the next webinar, Recover4i. It will be in 20 minutes at 11. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye. Or
Bye.
till later.
Allez la France.
See.